Hello again, my dear students from Carthage International School, 8th grade. I hope you're doing well and you had done your homework, which I gave it to you in the previous lecture. So today's lesson will be the answers. And before we start answering together these questions, I'm gonna make a quick revision of this type of grammar, which is how to agree with affirmative statements or positive statements and how to agree with negative statements. The sentences that contain the word no, these called negative statements. Remember that to agree with the positive statements, start always with the word so. And to agree with negative statements, you have two choices, whether neither or nor. So you have two choices for negative statements, neither and nor. Remember how to distinguish between the affirmative and negative. Affirmative is always positive, it does not contain the word no, and you need to start with so. But negative statements always contain the word no, and you have two choices for it, which are neither or nor. Now let's start answering the questions together. All of you, please open your booklet page 17 and don't forget to write on the top of the page the day and the date. Today is Thursday and the day is 26th of March 2020 or 2020. Read the question, agree with these statements. So, agree with these statements, this indicates that the subject will be I, because the question asks you to agree with these statements. So, in all of these statements, the subject will be I. Look at the first one. I can't swim. This is a negative statement because it contains the word not. So, you have two choices, whether neither or nor. Both of them are correct. Then you need to put the auxiliary verb. Here we have can in the sentence, so we're gonna use the same auxiliary verb or modal verb, and then the subject I. Number 2, I have got a sister. This is a positive statement. There is no not here, so we need to start with the word so. Then the auxiliary verb have, which we have it already in the statement, and then the subject I. Number 3, I must hurry. This is also another positive statement. So, then the auxiliary verb or modal verb must, and then the subject I. Number 4, I didn't go to school yesterday. This is a negative statement because we have the word not. So start it with neither or nor, and then the auxiliary verb did, which we already have in the statement, and then the subject I. The last one, she wrote a letter. Here we don't have any auxiliary verb. First of all, it's a positive statement. That's why we started with so. Then we were going to use one of the family of verbs to do, does, or did. If it's present, we're gonna use do or does. But because it's a past tense, we knew from the tense of the verb wrote is verb to, so we're going to use the simple past from do, which is did. So did I. These are the answers for the question in the booklet, page 17. Please write it on your booklet. Now let's move on to the workbook and start answering question number 1. Also, don't forget to write the day and the date on the top of the page. Grammar in use, agree with Laura. This means that these statements are saying by Laura, and you are the person who's going to agree with her, so the subject will be I. Remember this. But before we start, Look at these old sentences. Is it positive sentences or negative? Is it affirmative or negative sentences? Yes, that's correct. All of them are positive or affirmative statements because there is no in any of them. Let's start with the first one. I am feeling fine. Because it's a positive, we need to start with so, then follow it with the auxiliary verb that we have, which is am, and then the subject I. Number 2, I enjoy school. So, then the auxiliary verb. But في هذه الجملة لا يوجد أي فعل مساعد، لذلك دائما نلجأ في هذه الحالة إلى عائلة do. بعد ذلك يجب أن نكتشف إذا كانت الجملة في زمن المضارع يجب أن نستخدم do أو does اعتمادا على الفاعل. إذا الفاعل مفرد نستخدم does، إذا الفاعل جمع نستخدم do. هذه الجملة في زمن المضارع لأن الفعل enjoy هو تصريف أول، لذلك نستخدم do لأن do هو الفعل المساعد المناسب للفاعل I أنا، وأنا في اللغة الإنجليزية ضمير مفرد لكنه يعامل معاملة الجمع. تذكر هذه القاعدة. Number 3, I've worked hard this term. This is a positive started with so. And then the auxiliary verb have because we have it here. And then the subject I. Number 4, I will pass my exams. This is an abbreviation of I will. So we have already an auxiliary verb which is the modal verb will, and we start with so because it's affirmative statement, and then the subject I. Number 5, I must revise. So then the modal verb must and then the subject I. I spoke to my friend just now because also it's like affirmative statements we use. And هذه الجملة لا تحتوي على أي فعل مساعد، لذلك نلجأ إلى عائلة do، ولأن الفعل في هذه الجملة هو تصريف ثاني spoke تصريف ثاني، نستخدم الفعل الماضي من عائلة do وهو did. تذكر هذه القاعدة. إذا في حالة أن الجملة كانت مثبتة نقوم باستخدام عائلة do إذا لم نجد أي من هذه الأفعال المساعدة في الجملة. Let's move on to question number 2. Agree with Jack. The first one, I can't play the violin. Or before we start, look at these statements, all of it. Are these statements negative or affirmative? Think of it. Yes, these statements are negative statements because all of them contain the word not. And because the question asks you to agree with Jack, so Jack is the one who's saying these statements, and the subject will be I, because the question asks you to agree with Jack. Let's start. I can't play the violin. Because it's a negative, you have two choices, remember, neither or nor. This box starts with neither. So neither, then follow it with the auxiliary verb, which is the modal verb can, and the subject I. Number 2, I wasn't late for school today. Start with neither because it's negative. Then the auxiliary verb was, which is a suitable auxiliary verb for I. Then the subject I. Number 3, I don't speak Japanese. Also started with neither because it's a negative statement. Then the auxiliary verb do because we have it already in this statement. Number 4, I won't forget my homework. I won't. Remember that won't is will plus not. So will plus not, it's won't. I won't forget my homework. The book started with nor. Neither and nor, both of them are correct, and you can use it in both situations. There is no any difference between them. Nor, well, which is the modal verb that used in the main statement, and then the subject I. Number 5, I shouldn't waste my time. Nor, should, which is the modal verb that used in the main sentence, and then the subject I. I didn't stay up late last night. Nor, because it's a negative, did, we have it in the main statement, and then the subject I. So remember, in these negative statements, you have two choices, whether neither or nor, both of them are correct, and there is something easy to you or a hint for you that in negative statements there are always the auxiliary verbs. You can see it like clearly. في الجمل المنفية دائما يوجد الأفعال المساعدة، يمكنك مشاهدتها بوضوح، وهذه تسهل عليك العملية. إذا ستقوم باستخدام نفس الفعل المساعد أو أحد عائلته اعتمادا على السبجكت الفاعل، فقط تقوم بتبديله في حالة الإفراد أو الجمع فقط لا غير، لكن لا تقوم بتغيير العائلة. Now let's move to question number 3, which is the last question in this page. Respond to the statements. Use the words in the brackets. Start with so for positive or affirmative statements, neither or nor for negative statements. Remember this. Number 1. The students are exhausted. Their teacher. Okay. في هذا السؤال عليك أن تقوم بالموافقة على هذه الجمل، لكنه قام بتحديد الفاعل لك. الكلمة التي تكون بين الأقواس هي الفاعل الذي عليك أن تستخدمه. في الجملة الأولى The students are exhausted. Their teacher. هذه الجملة هي جملة مثبتة، لذلك بدأنا بكلمة so. Is قمنا باستخدام الفعل المساعد is لأن الفعل المساعد في الجملة هو are، وقمنا بتحويله ل is لأن الفاعل هو their teacher. Their teacher فاعل مفرد، والفعل المناسب للمفرد هو is وليس are. لاحظ أننا قمنا بتغييره فقط من مفرد إلى جمع أو من جمع إلى مفرد، ولم نقم بتغيير العائلة. بمعنى آخر، لم نقل من are لdo أو من are لhave، ما زلنا في نفس عائلة be، فقط قمنا بتحويله من حالة الجمع إلى حالة المفرد لأن السبجكت أو الفاعل مفرد. Number 2. Laura loves in New York her brother. هذه الجملة أيضا مثبتة، سنبدأها بso. تمام. هذه الجملة لا تحتوي على أي فعل مساعد. تذكر أنه إذا كانت الجملة لا تحتوي على فعل مساعد نلجأ دائما إلى عائلة do. إذا كانت في زمن المضارع، وهذه الجملة في زمن المضارع لأن الفعل loves هو التصريف أول، لذلك هي في زمن المضارع. نستخدم do أو does. كيف نقرر أو على ماذا نعتمد لكي نقرر إذا كنا سنستخدم do أو does؟ حسب الفاعل. الفاعل هنا her brother. her brother مفرد، لذلك سنستخدم does لأن does للفاعل المفرد. So does her brother. Number 3. She won't forget her trip there. Her friends. هذه الجملة مثبتة أم منفية؟ ولماذا؟ برافو. هذه الجملة منفية negative لأنها تحتوي على not. want هي عبارة عن will زائد not تصبح want. she won't forget her trip there. لذلك نبدأها ب neither أو nor. Both of them are correct. الجملة تحتوي على فعل مساعد وهو will، نستخدمه كما هو، ثم نضع السبجكت أو الفاعل her friends. Number 4. Sally hasn't been to America. Her parents. تحتوي على not، إذن هي جملة منفية negative، نبدأها ب neither أو nor. الجملة تحتوي على فعل مساعد وهو has، لكن السبجكت her parents جمع، نحول has إلى have لأن الفاعل جمع. لم نقم بتحويل has إلى do أو إلى are، لكنها ما زالت في نفس الحالة، وهي أو في نفس العائلة من has إلى have لأن الفاعل جمع. Number 5. Jane's science exam was difficult. Hours. هذه الجملة هي جملة مثبتة، لذلك نبدأها بso، ثم نتبعها بأحد أفراد العائلة الموجودة في نفس الجملة وهي was. قمنا بتحويل was إلى were لأن الفاعل hours جمع، ولا يناسب الجمع was تأتي فقط مع المفرد. قمنا بتحويلها إلى were، ما زالت في نفس العائلة. تذكر هذه، قمنا بتحويلها لتناسب الفاعل. الفاعل جمع لا يناسبه was وإنما were. The last one. Molly doesn't play the piano. Her sisters. هذه الجملة منفية لأنها تحتوي على not. نبدأها ب neither أو nor. Both of them are correct. الجملة أيضا تحتوي على فعل مساعد وهو does، لكن الفاعل her sisters لاحظ أنه جمع، لذلك نقوم بتحويل does إلى do ليتناسب مع الفاعل، لأن الفاعل جمع يجب أن نستخدم فعل مساعد يناسب الجمع وهو do وليس does مع المفرد do مع الجمع. Do her sister. Neither do her sisters or nor do her sisters. Both of them are correct. And here we're going to stop. This is the end of our grammar. This is like an easy grammar. I hope that you understood it, and you need to practice on it to like make sure that you understood everything about it. Don't hesitate to ask me about anything that you want whenever you want. This was the end of our long unit, which is unit 6. And we're going to close unit 6. And next week we're going to start with a new unit, which is unit number 7. Okay, my dear students, I need to remind you of our logo or device for these days, which is stay home to stay safe. To pass these conditions because of the coronavirus. And thank you for listening. This was Teacher Abeer, and have a nice time. Bye bye.